I think I, Elaine, when you're
I need to
muted
unmute
there. Okay.
myself. There we
Yeah.
are. Okay, thank you. Hi, Alexandra. Good morning. Good morning. Well, I'm very excited to see everyone. And I need to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are, whatever time zone. I'm honored you're here. Welcome to Nia Heals Trauma. Let's just say it that way. I am thrilled to be here with you, and I have a strong sense in a lot of my meditations this week and my movement that this is a heavy week for all of us. Yeah? Can I see the hands? Heavy. Yeah. I want to really honor that today, the depth and the play of it. This is a heavy week. This full moon was really powerful, and I think it's really impacted a lot of us energetically. I want you to know I honor that. So let's begin with, I'm just going to share this and kind of, I'll pin myself up for a moment, and then I want to share this, and I want us to have some moments of silence. This is our triad. Healing from trauma, reconnecting to the body I sense, recovering our nervous systems, a sense of self-regulation I feel, and reclaiming our bodies and spirits I am. Each of us knowing the body is the center. As we be with these moments of silence, I want you to be with how a lot of trauma is rooted in oppression, power imbalances. I'm very aware of that this week, as a year has passed since George Floyd was murdered in our country. And I'm aware of it for a variety of other reasons, including deaths of friends this week. Aware of it for a lot of other reasons, just hearing stories from people all week and frankly just sensing, and I'm sure you do too. So hands, heart, and heart, everybody, let's connect. We are grounded in our feet. We are rooted in our sacrums. Our heart is lifted, our head high. Let's each take a moment of silence for the traumas each of us have experienced and our grief related to our trauma. Feel free to hum, sigh, yawn. And let's take a moment of silence for each other's traumas, our collective trauma and grief. And a moment of silence for the violence and trauma inflicted on all bodies and beings, our collective unconscious grief. And finally, a moment of silence for the violence inflicted on our earth, our environment, our collective place to live. Thank you, everybody. Feel free to have your journals handy. And you could write down that relationship, violence, suppression, trauma, power, control. And now let's create the space for some healing. Again, we're rooted and grounded. Find that for you. Feel free to wiggle a little if you need to kind of get that life force flowing again. Move a little, rub, percuss, whatever you need. And let's do this in silence. We all know the mudra: self, other, teacher, space, and Nia. Thank you, everybody. Space for healing together. Today, our focus is on recovery, the sensory study of resilience. I would love at this time to hear some shares about how it went in your pods, how you're healing and growing so far, what it's like being in relationship with this material, with each other, with our shares. So if you'd like to raise your hand, and Jewel will help bring you forward so we can all be with you. And if you haven't introduced yourself, please, your name, where you live. One word in relationship to trauma and one in relationship to healing.
So down at the bottom, there's a button called reactions, and that is where you'll find the many reactions, but there's a hand. And if you'll click the hand, that's like raising your hand.
Thank you, Jewel. All right.
There we go.
Yeah. Feel free to breathe deeply. Look outside if you need to. There's a hand raised.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria from Binghamton, New York. I'm soon to be moving to Hood River, Oregon. And I wanted to mention that I had joined this training a little naively because my life is a little bit of an uproar right now, thinking that I would take the training to bring with me to Hood River to help others. But when I stepped in, being just coming off my brown belt, energy being, trusting, show me, lead me, guide me, I'm in the right spot so it can help me. I will be signing my divorce papers this afternoon, and it all happened in 8 weeks from beginning to end with no hassles. So somebody wants me to get on with my life. And it couldn't be more appropriate timing. So for that, I'm grateful.
Wonderful. Healing and growing having to do with making those choices for change, right? Healthy choices for change.
Yes, and the, oops, I'm trying to get the lower hand. And the best part is that last week I realized from what Elaine was teaching and everyone was saying that even though my divorce wasn't anything real violent, I had been oppressed for years. And even just now, you mentioned that oppression. And ironically, my autoimmune stuff started right a couple years into the marriage. So, wow, I have just been edified in every way, shape, and form, and looking forward to moving on in an open and positive and receiving way.
I feel like we want to go like this. Like, congratulations, Maria. Does anybody want to join in? Look, she's doing it. Let's congratulations, Maria. Oh, may your healing journey be just what you need. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Gosh, the intimacy of coming in, and I don't know how many times I came in because I was going to be a better teacher and and I was going to get better at this, and the humility of, hey, if we keep healing, the world keeps healing. Yeah. And it's all about the growth and the learning and the healing. Yeah. Us at center. Mwah! You're about to just blossom. I hear it in your voice, and that's exciting for me. I really hear it in your voice. Yeah. I've known Maria for a long time. Very excited for Maria. Does anybody else have your hand up? It's okay. Whatever. It was a big week. I see Zoe has her hand up.
Hi, I just wanted to share that I found the principle of oscillation useful not just in the emotional realm, but in other parts of my life this week, as it was a really crazy week. Just remembering to oscillate with my physical energy, with my mental energy, and with my spirit energy, not just with emotions. So it was really great to realize that principle is for everything in your life, my life.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Zoe. That like I said, that really came. It's a psychological term in relation to gaining traction around positive and negative experience, emotions, and thoughts. And I wanted to make it sensory, like everything in Nia, right? Get it in the body, and we know it's our source to heal the body. So I'm so honored that I love hearing that you're really playing with it in your life. And I thought of you dancing with it again this morning with a song. So thank you. Yeah. I think Nan.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Nan.
Can you hear me? Yeah. I want to thank you as well. I've learned some things about what's going on in my body. This is really from last time, but Trauma Series 1, when we were talking about oscillation, but also rocking. When I entered my grief, my body knew that's how I go to sleep at night. My body just starts rocking in the bed. And then I come to center and go to sleep with that just naturally. And then last week, when you talked about the brain blocking, I'm not sure what term you used, but not inability to learn. I also recognized I had not been capable of embodying a routine until this year. I went a year, I just couldn't do it. I didn't know why. And now I do. And I also know that I have healed since I am currently doing so and learning something new. So big self-discovery. Thank you.
You're welcome, Nan. You are welcome. Yeah, the personalizing it, definitely. Yes, I hear you. Our ability to learn trauma and grief. Yeah, yeah. And so you're healing because you're now able to learn and embody. Yeah. I want to thank you, Nan. My friend's husband did die on Wednesday. I went to visit her on Thursday and she had her prayer beads in her hands. So thank you. Yeah. I think I saw Nikki's hand, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you did. I just wanted to share actually how I realized a lot of what, we've been talking about in last week sort of infiltrated into me without me kind of consciously directing it. On Tuesday, I taught for Jenny, who's on the call, and she was teaching Moving to Heal. And I had to teach for her at the last minute, and I kind of arrived forgetting that. And I had more of a stimulating routine kind of plan, but I was using nerves and the nervous system because that was my 5 stages lesson plan for the week. And this girl brought her husband because for Moving to Heal it would be nice and slow for him to step in, and so I had to sort of work with what I had in the nervous system and then really guiding them in terms of understanding stimulating versus, does it make me feel good or does it make me feel better? And I realized it was kind of the whole oscillation thing of learning to go between it. And I've really been using this in all my classes a lot, in between songs or wherever, just as an amazing guide to bring people back to their bodies. Even when there's a lot of stimulation in a song, and then, often we just want to use breath and, sense your heartbeat, but this is really quite powerful to, and then so people can take the tool as well and really get that. So it was really perfect for him to step in. And then he bought a class card and he's going to come every week with his wife, which is amazing because I think she is actually healing from breast cancer. So it's wonderful that he can be on that journey with
Wow.
her. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But she was amazing. Very powerful mover. And and he was a very cool guy. Like he just jumped in, he wasn't inhibited or anything.
Right.
But and then I found it very powerful to understand the different oscillations of your nervous system, the stimulation versus.
Oh, wonderful.
Making me feel better or whatever. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So I just wanted to share that. I really realized how much I'm able to use.
I'm so glad. Thank you for your share, Nikki. And check it out. Take it on the road. It might actually get you more business, right? So, and this is not to, I say this with authentic heart, Jewel, you'll know that. You're together moving to heal adaptation, I think is beautiful and brilliant. And Jewel talks about stability touch. And this is such a stability touch, right? These are the areas we protect when we've been traumatized, almost always. It's fairly universal. And Jewel grounds us in so many ways with touch and together. So if you haven't played with that with Jewel, I invite you to step in. I want to honor that everybody is, all these people that have honored my loss. Thank you. I think I'll take a moment and honor my loss. Will you do it with me? Thank you. Yeah, his name was John, and Sue is one of our biggest supporters here at Life Force. So, yeah. Wonderful. Anybody else we have time for like one more, if that would work? Or are we good? Okay, we're good. All right, let's see if I can share. Bear with me. Here we go. All right. I'm going to scooch down here. Tamara, look at this. I figured out how to do it from the... Let's see. Okay. Aha. So oscillation has been speaking to us. And I really want us to take a few moments with this principle. This is one of our get in our bodies experiences again this morning. So just take a moment with that. I really want you, just don't worry about it. We're going to read this, we're going to move, then we're going to journal. But how has Nia cultivated your relationship with oscillation? Nia taught me. And I just found the word in a book and all the explanations. How has Nia helped you consciously introduce healthy changes, pleasurable experiences, incrementally easing away from the pain, which is all too familiar, calls us back into the old brain? How has Nia helped you oscillate into emotions you can tolerate, thoughts you can tolerate, sensations you can tolerate and actually enjoy? How has Nia helped you gain traction, like a tire stuck in snow, right? How has Nia helped you pick up healthy sensations, thoughts, feelings, and choices, and drop off ones that haven't been healthy for you and have interrupted your flow of energy? So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and before we journal about it, let's move it. So I'm picking a song. I hope you like it. This is from one of my all-time favorite routines. Why is this one of my all-time favorite routines? Because I actually had a stinking blast every time I taught it, which was unusual for me. It's You by Ann Christensen. So I'd like all of us to get up. Just start to sway like Nan was talking about. We're going to play with oscillation. You really don't need to watch me because it's going to come from you. Little free dance of oscillation. We move from our hara, or our whole core, slowly out. Let's start with our hara. Maybe play with a range of motion, dancing that hara. Your center incrementally easing out, emanating out. Beautiful. If at any time you're uncomfortable, heart and hara, or stability touch. Beautiful. Maybe you want to take it around. Look around, a little awareness, a little connection. Now how about a little hip and shoulder? Your way, your space, your body. Hum it if you want. If it feels good, maybe a little elbow and knee. Notice how it emanates from your center, your joints, your bones, right from that pelvic container. If you want, you can layer on your wrists and ankles. Your way, your way. Yeah. Get it all involved. How about it? 1320 now. Radiate out from that center. Your range of motion, Stay within that domain of comfort, care, and pleasure. Pleasure. Yeah, the music soothing us. Silky, soft music. Yeah, I'll step out. You do it your way. Yeah. Sense the flow of your life force, everybody. You can energize it with breath, with sound. Beautiful. When you're ready, start to bring it in. Back to those elbows and knees, a little attention there. Yeah, the voice of the elbows and the knees. Yeah. How about some shoulders and hips? Bring it back in. Yeah. Silky smooth skin and movements. Perhaps. Right back in when you're ready to that heart. You can gain even more awareness by dancing the hands around. Radiating from your center. Choices small for change, connection. Even closer, even closer. Nice. Slip into your centered self. Nice. Thank you, everybody. Dancing together in community. So I'd like you to take a few moments now. That felt good for me. I hope it felt good for you. To journal about how that felt and how it really relates. How has Nia helped you grow incrementally, gain traction, a window of tolerance, pleasurable sensations, thoughts, feelings, and a sense of self? Feel free to just write one word responses. It doesn't have to be whatever you're comfortable with. It's really important to kind of track. It all becomes a piece of artwork, these singular words and small reflections. Yeah, take stock, take stock. I will sure ask those questions again. You got it. How has Nia helped you grow incrementally? On my website, I say sustainable change is incremental, right? Small little choices, small little positive differences gaining traction. How has Nia helped you add in, grow incrementally? How has Nia helped you release negative experiences and shift to more positive experiences. How has Nia helped you build your window of tolerance, sensation, thoughts, and feelings? Tolerate and stay connected to yourself. Just like we ended right there in our centers. Beautiful.
Elaine, we have a
Yes.
request to repeat the questions again.
Okay, again, okay. So, how has Nia helped you make small positive changes in your life? Right? How has Nia helped you tolerate and enjoy sensation, tolerate and shift thoughts, tolerate and move feelings? I love that I'm repeating because I keep shifting how I say it. You see what I'm saying? So help, maybe that'll help connect. Build your window of tolerance. You know, a lot of us, when we're traumatized, I'll speak for myself. I really thought I was supposed to be in pain. I was supposed to be abused. Like, there was a part of me that really felt like I didn't deserve joy or pleasure. So I really had to build a tolerance for it, because there were strong things within my tissues and in my nervous system and my brain that said, you don't deserve this. Right? But Nia has coaxed me and teased me, drawn it out and in. Yeah. I could name principles, routines, movements. It could be any of those things for you. Right? For me, the focus of every Nia routine, and the more I practice it, that's incremental growth for me. Big part of it. And for me, really slipping into caring for myself and collaborating with my body, I started to have healthier thoughts about myself and more acceptance about those parts that aren't so beautiful, that are challenging. And I started to have a wider range of emotions with Nia. Faking it really helped me. And the free dance faking, right? And also a tolerance of feelings, including anger, which has been the most challenging emotion for me. Angry big men scare the shit out of me. And I've learned to be able to breathe through it, be with it. So just noticing that for you. Well, I'd love to hear any shares, ways you've grown, even if it doesn't relate to oscillation. How has Nia helped you heal? It's a great time to share. You're welcome. It's a great time to share. If you shared already, that's good too. Stepping in till the rest of us witnessing, and we all heal and grow with your shares. Yay, we've got some hands up. We've got Alexandra and Lourdes. Felicia, Jewel, are you in there? Look at me. Are you in there?
Yeah, Lourdes is spotlighted.
Oh, great. Okay.
I can see that. First of all, thank you for allowing me to share last week. And I found words today for trauma. And my word for trauma is being. And my word for healing is being. So that's where I'm at. And as far as how Nia has helped me, the first thing that came up right away was boundary fingers. Oh my God, I love my pinkies. And yeah, it's really helped me a lot. And also the permission to seek joy as you said, Elaine, I thought that my norm was that, but then Nia gave me the permission to seek joy and be in pleasure. And the third was finding my voice in sounding and saying no. And yeah, that's
Wonderful. Thank you, Lourdes. Thank you. Thank you. I find your voice so soothing. You know that. I just love your voice. Oh my gosh. I could listen to it all day. Read me a meditation. So thank you, love. I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing. And of course, sharing last week. Of course. Always permission. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry about that. I'm out of town with my family. My mom walked into the room. So it caught me off guard. So Nia has really, when I think about this, and I was writing it, and I write pretty free flowing. It's something I've been always able to do. And it's taught me to smile from the inside out, which is really important when you think about it. We smile for everybody else and we make fake smiles. But when I dance Nia, it comes from within me. And then it brings that joy to my face, as opposed to me creating something that's not real. So that's one of the big things I think Nia has done, is it's a genuine, pure joy. And the other thing is, it's just taught me to just appreciate my body, whether it's big or small. And I run the gamut, that I can dance and I can move and I can be a strong, powerful woman with strong words and just centering in myself. And those are huge things that no other form of dance or any other program has ever given me. So it's really given me, strength from within to see beauty without, from the outside, but seeing it from within, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing. Your authentic true self can show up. Oh, thank you. I love your authentic true self. I love all of you, but I love that Nia, every time we step in, I could have a really bad morning, bad day, right? Feel better after. I feel like a better person and I'm more authentically myself. I love that. Smile from the inside out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you and hello everybody. I'm feeling very honored and connected. Yeah, to what has been said before, I've made lots of small changes with the help of Nia. The way I exercise, well, I don't even like to call it exercise anymore. The way I move, the way I nourish, and other ways I used to take care of my body, the way I think, and that's a big thing, and I'm gonna share a little bit more about that. The way I feel and allow feelings and see the value in emotions. I used to think that emotions, I don't need emotions, it's all in the mind and it's all rational, and I learned that. And of course my spirit, and I shared about my purpose, that I regained my purpose with the help of the first healing trauma series. I can also connect to having the same word like Lourdes for trauma and healing. For me it was love, both was love, and I was like, wow. And there's a lot of healing happening at the moment with my connection to love, and I feel my heart really opening. So that's a treasure.
God, yeah, your heart's a treasure.
Yeah, but it's also a treasure to sense it, and
yes,
reconnect. Yeah.
Yes, yay, yay.
Yes, and I can so connect to what you just said, that angry men, dominant men scare you, and that's so me, and I'm going through that right now, and also it's connected very much with my wish to please, my wish to perform. It's a lot, it has to do a lot with performance. So my project, the project I worked for, was just stopped end of April, and we were asked to internally look for different jobs. And the one I knew directly, it's not for me. The other one, I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. And then it keeps making me sick. Like really, I feel it's not the right thing. My body tells me. at the same time, there's a very dominant guy there, and of course I'm scared, and but I just found the courage to speak my truth, and that it's just not a match. I mean, it's not. I find him dominant. It doesn't mean that that's the truth for everyone. And then what also happened, I didn't speak first to him directly, but then somebody else told me, but we could do this and try this. And I was like, yeah, I can do this and then do a good job. And I could really watch myself. This was last evening, and overnight I could watch myself, like my spirit, my body telling me this is not it and something else is much better. And this very strong attractor of wanting to please, of wanting to perform, of wanting to be a good girl, tricking me to believe that's my head, that it's the rational thing to do this job. And it was really fascinating to see this so clearly. And I find it's some sort of oscillation really between the unhealthy behavior of following this strong attractor of my old pattern of just wanting to please, and then choosing what is really right for my body. Also, if there's a person who I think who scares me.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, thank you, Alexandra. So small changes, body acceptance, sensing open heart, even oscillating in relationship to powerful men. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know, I'll never forget the time I went to visit my mom and dad by myself, well, with my son, who at the time was 2.5, I think. And my father got my son's, we didn't know at the time, he was on the spectrum, and he got out of sorts. And my father reacted very strongly, rose his voice, and started to get a little, not with my son, but with the door, like physical. And my response was, this stunned me. I have to tell you, this still stuns me to this day. Dad, I don't do it that way. And I picked up my son and left. My father came the next day, apologized in tears. Anyway, but I couldn't have done that if I hadn't had all those other reclaiming experiences. There's no way I could have stayed in my body and took care of my son and myself in that way. And yes, Alexandra, it's no accident that I have my own business. I'm not in the corporate world. Where's my tolerance for that, right? Around power imbalances. I'm still working it. Still working it. All right, there's at least 4 more hands. I said we have time. And then we'll move on to some more play. Our principal.
Hello.
Hey, Leonie.
I just want to read something. I opened my notebook and then this was a quote or something that I wrote down previously from another course, but it just speaks to Alexandra's, what she just shared. And it says, the goal is to seek play and presence, not perfection and performance. And so I read it and I thought, okay, I just wanted to share that with her. But I have a lot to share about how Nia has helped me, and I'm going to put something on Facebook because in Hong Kong, there are actively no Nia classes for me to participate in. If I want to go to a class, I should teach the class. And so it's this very small community, and because of the very strict COVID regulations, we just haven't been able to get together and dance. And so I haven't actively done Nia with the Nia community in, I would say, over 3 years. And so I really feel that every single time I've gone through something difficult, Nia has been there for me. I remember sitting in hospital once for a very minor operation, but still it's stressful. And all I wanted to do was pop in my headphones, and I listened to this Nia song over and over again. And I did the choreography kind of in my mind's eye over and over again. And I found it really soothing. I was sitting on the bed, just kind of swaying from side to side, cha-cha-cha, forward, side. And it was just so amazing to me, how the power of it. And when my little girl was really young and we really struggled with her, I would hold her in my arms, and then I would repeat the same step over and over again with her in my arms, forward, side, back, cha-cha-cha, different leg. And I just kept on doing that. It's like I just knew, my body just knew, okay, this is good for you. And the first time that I experienced pain in my body because of trauma, the first time it released after I went to South Africa and I did a Nia class with Zoe. The next day, for the next week, I was pain-free, and then the pain came back again. But it was it felt to me like it was such a big moment. It just released. This week, I really experienced how I can also show someone else that incremental change is sustainable change. I've been traveling with this, or journeying with this one lady whose baby also has a similar heart condition than my baby girl, but it's in their case, it just feels like she sent me a message one day, and she said, it feels like I'm in the boxing ring and I get punched down and I'm still bleeding and I'm on the floor and someone's pulling me up and just punching me again. So the amount of medical challenges that this baby boy had to endure, it's just, when you hear about it, it makes you want to cry. And so she was I haven't met her. I've been texting her and supporting her for like a year and a half without meeting her. And then she reached out to me and she said, look, I am just so exhausted. And I said, please just let me come and help you. And I went over and I was holding the baby. I was humming. I was moving with the baby. And she responded to it. She said to me, wow, you are just so amazing with him. And I was able to share with her a lot of what I've learned. I recommended some of the movements or some of the postures for her just to calm herself down so that she can attend to this loving baby. And I just say to her over and over again, because at the moment he doesn't want to feed. And I just say to her, it is going to just take time. We want everything to just miraculously change overnight, but incremental change is sustainable change. And I was really able to share that with her. And then the next moment, her husband came back and we sat around the table and he brought in another kind of energy and he was quizzing her. How much did the baby drink? How long did it take for him to drink the milk? Did he show any signs of respiratory distress? Oh, hi, okay. And you are Emily's mom. And when does she need another surgery? And I was just triggered. In that moment, I sat there and I was triggered. And immediately, window of tolerance came to my mind. And immediately I thought to myself, okay, I have the opportunity here to make a healthy choice for me. Do I want to leave or do I want to expand my window of tolerance right here, right now? Wow. And I just did this, but I just spoke to her about this posture, this movement, hand on the heart, hand on the heart. So I kind of didn't want her to see that I'm doing this because I didn't want her to sense that I'm freaking out on the inside. But I just did this. I took a deep breath in. I calmed my nervous system down and I made the choice. It's like I gave myself consent to stay in that situation. I said, self, I know this is going to be uncomfortable. I know you want to leave. You are okay. You can do this. Let's see if you can if you can increase the window of tolerance. If not, you can leave, but let's try. And it was the first time that I've kind of gave myself permission. Usually I would just be like, no, you need to stick it out. It'll be awkward and rude to leave right now. So you just put on your big girl panties, you stay in the conversation, don't you dare leave. Or I would do the flip side. I would just be like, I need to go. And then I'd go and then I'd feel so guilty. But for the first time, I thought about it and I thought about what healthy choice do I want to make right now? And so I also said no to 2 different things this week. And it's the first time that I'm able to just say no and feel good about it. And I just think to myself, what healthy choice can I make to get this incremental change that's going to be sustainable? And so that is how Nia has helped me. And I miss Nia. In order to really enjoy it, I need to teach Nia because there are no classes. And so what I want to ask this community is, I'm in Hong Kong and I will post on Facebook a couple of times that suit me. If any of you guys do classes that I can join in and get the sense of community, I will see if it fits in with my schedule, and I would just love to dance with you. Yes, and be part of the Nia community again, because I miss it and I need it.
Wonderful. Okay. I've got, first, can we just go, wah! I'm buzzing. I am buzzing in a good way. Buzzing. Thank you. Very clear, Leone. And just, we can make those moment-to-moment choices. I love how you reconnected. The words that were meaningful to you came to you, and you made a different choice. You noticed you were triggered. Oh my gosh. I love how you wrapped, Alexandra. Could you please share that on our Facebook page? I have a personal request. Could you please share a picture of your daughter on our Facebook page? I have a third request, because I'm not sure what you just asked was clear. It wasn't clear to me. You want to teach. I would like you to offer, you don't want to teach? You want to take class?
Yes, not at the moment. I haven't taught in 3 years. I don't know what'll come out if I teach now. I just want to dance.
All right, got it. Well, you can take any of my classes for free anytime. You just go on the website and you log in. Boom, bam, you're in. But you can share some times on our Facebook page and people can chime in for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Woohoo! Healing journey. We have time for 2 more, but don't forget. Don't worry. We will have time a little later. I've made good space for shares today. So 2 more now. Then we got to get that nervous system moving again.
Hi.
Hi, Lorraine.
Yeah. My name is Lorraine, obviously. But I didn't. I think the last time I spoke, it was pre-share words. My words for trauma would be fracture, and my word for healing would be connection. I am uncomfortable with the word broken because I never feel broken. I sometimes don't feel all the way connected, but I seldom feel broken. My body has always been my teacher, my university, actually. I've often referred to it as that. It speaks loudly to me, and I have always been able to hear it from childhood. And it's not always speaking nicely, but it's a language I've always understood. As a result of that, I've always felt somewhat more capable to step in when somebody else is being harmed. I will often put myself in that path to try and regulate escalation of someone else's trauma. And as a result, have always sort of been the strong one, which I've learned over my life is its own form of trauma reaction. It's safer to be that. But it also means that dance has always been my way to refuel. Dance in general, it's always been the recharging of my batteries. So what I give out to others depletes because I did not have the skill set to regulate that. But I did have the body awareness to go and recharge with something healthy as opposed to self-medication. And I guess dance has always been my medication. As the traumas have built over my life, and in the last couple of years in particular, there have been some very, very harsh shifts, shall we say, in my world. The ability to stand up for others has actually put me right in front of the bus. So I put myself there, and I've recognized that. And this time, going to the place of dancing has not been, that's been a harder thing for me to find. And Nia has, the concept of stepping in has been the greatest gift, as I've already trusted my body's way my whole life. But the concept of stepping in, that invitation, that line that allows me to step out of the shadow of self-protection and into the light of feeling joy, actively searching for my own sake instead of the sake of another, that's been the greatest gift I think that I've gotten from Nia. Thus far. I'm early in the journey.
Thus far, that's huge, Lorraine. Wonderful.
Nia's fairly new to me. My dance is not new to me, and the concept of dance being healing for the body. I taught Middle Eastern dance for 16 years, and I watched women learn that they had body parts they never understood they had. So that concept of finding your body and allowing it to speak and be heard, that part for me has always, that's been a part of me. Finding Nia was a way to reclaim that after being school.
Yes.
Yeah, very.
I hear that.
Yeah. So it's reconnecting some of the fractured pieces.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah. Yes, I
Glue
love
in
it.
the right places.
Epoxy glue, maybe some
Yeah,
light
exactly.
light thread, loose and tight.
Yeah. Stitch
Thank
up that
you.
quilt. Get a few more years out of it.
I get it. I hear you. We hear you. Thank you. And that thing about fawning that Zoe kind of brought in, this pleasing thing, and then Jewel kind of elucidated it with, it's a trauma response to take care of people so much, other people, right? To compensate and to kind of get out of you, and again, I'm only speaking my personal experience so you can tap into your personal experience, because when Alexandra was speaking, I made the connection. Oh my God, my whole family, we spent years trying to please my father so he wouldn't take it out on us.
I spent years making a safe space.
Yes.
Nobody else made it safe, so I did.
Right. That's what we do, right? Exactly.
Create that safe space, and then at least I'm in a place where I can navigate and be of service to others. Yeah.
Well, it took me a lot longer than that, but well, thank you. For some reason, I'm going to honor this.
Thank you.
Lorraine share, thank you. Just made me think about I'm just listening because Spirit keeps saying this is coming up, Elaine, you need to mention it. So COVID, my body has shifted during COVID. We all have, right?
Mhm.
COVID has brought up this sense of holy shit, protect, survival for me, and I'm sure I would imagine for all of us, and really shifted relationship to meaning, what's most meaningful. It just got clarity, clarity, clarity. Now, how has my body responded to COVID, right? Fortunately, I haven't overdrank or overate, but I gained weight, right? And I gained weight and muscle tissue. Check it out for yourself. I'm just doing this so you can check in with your body. My butt is so much bigger than it was, but it's stronger. And this is like your engine. Keeps me moving forward. So I'm grateful my butt has gotten bigger. I also have loosened muscle tissue in my legs and arms. My legs is probably due to menopause, but my arms too. And I'm still doing the same amount of fitness, movement. And so something about my muscle tissue said, it's time to loosen. And I'm listening. Rather than forcing it back into form that I thought was healthier. So I'm honoring the changes because I know I haven't made, besides probably a little too much chocolate cake during COVID, I haven't made other choices that have been, really detrimental to my body. So, So anyway, notice for you, because COVID for so many people brought up past grief, past trauma, past adversity. Thank you, Leonie, for that cue. And, all right, so just notice for you, that body acceptance you were talking about, Lorraine. I guess that's what inspired me. That's been a thread.
Yeah. And sometimes for some of us, like for me, COVID has been almost a gift, if that doesn't trigger anybody, but it's kind of put the whole world on timeout, which has allowed me to not have to take care of anybody.
Right, exactly.
And it's actually given me some time to go, oh, I can take care of me. Oh, cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear that. Yeah. It's a nice pause for Mother Earth, too.
Yeah, huge pause for Mother Earth. Huge.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I think we have time for one more, and then we really need to move. Now, executive decision, please bear with me. My sense is saying Sarah D really needs to share, so I'd like her to share. Please, Felicia and Peggy, know my heart and soul. You can start the next share if that's okay with you. Okay, great. Thank you. Sarah, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe what you saw was every person who shared added a whole new dimension to what initially came up for me when I was thinking about, all the different questions that you mentioned, and I felt a strong connection, and I thought, oh, I didn't even think about that part yet, and I didn't think about lots of enlightenment I got about myself as people were talking, and even some parts of what you said are called trauma. I was like, oh, I never even considered that to be trauma. So a lot of new stuff. So I'll just stick to what I was going to say in the beginning because so much is piled on now. For me, if I get this little voice in my head when something big and difficult happens to me, I get this question and it says, well, how are you going to survive this? What are you going to do? And so since I found Nia, always the answer is, I have Nia, I'll be okay. About a year after I found Nia, literally straight after my green belt, I finished the green belt on the Friday, and straight from there I took my two girls on a holiday. And in that, I was still married at the time, I'm not now. And in that holiday, there was a swimming pool, and one of the days we were there, I was with my kids, and I was first in the pool with them for about 2 hours, and then I stepped out of the pool because I thought I wanted to give them some more. They were being a bit clingy on me. I thought, I always spent so many hours in the pool, I wanted to have a bit more independence. And there was a mother next to the pool with her 2 kids. So there was 4 kids in the pool, 2 of mine, 2 of hers. And we were talking, facing the pool, and suddenly one of my daughters screamed to me, "Mommy, Chev's on the floor." And my eyes straight away scanned the round of the pool. No one's there. So suddenly I thought, what about?
Excuse me.
So I looked at the floor of the pool, and my daughter's in the deep end floor. So it was like I jumped in a second and pulled her out, and she was gone. She was blue and was gone. And I just thought back, but she needs CPR. And anyway, so I administered the CPR. Even also actually pressed the alarm. The other mother was frozen. She didn't know what to do. I was like, press the alarm, press the alarm. So where's the alarm? I was like, right, I'll do the alarm. So the alarm, did the CPR. Till they came, and we were very, very lucky. And she's okay. She's alive and no damage. But it took a few hours till I was going to know, and I'm very lucky that it was only a few hours till I knew that there wasn't any damage. First, I didn't know if she was going to survive because she was gone. And then I didn't know how much brain damage because I didn't know how long she was under the water. It could have been 30 seconds, but it also could have been a minute and a half. But I hate to think that I didn't look for a minute and a half. I didn't know. And then when she came back, and she recognized that it was me, and we asked questions, and we saw that, her brain was fine. And when I kind of got that all clear that she was going to be okay, and we might even discharge her the next day, which they did, then all I could think of was like, right, we all, me, my daughter who saw it first, the daughter who drowned, like we've all experienced now one massive trauma. I was like, yeah, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We're gonna dance. And I wanted to really and I needed to freak out, like scream and just do wild. And I thought, I'm already scared of social services because I said everything. It was like I was there, but I wasn't looking. I mean, I was looking, but I didn't see, so I kind of didn't look. I was scared. I thought, well, I don't want them to think I'm mad, so I'll wait till I get out of the building. Just like that, the day that we got home, first we just rested a bit, and then all that, and I knew I needed to dance, so that's what I did, and just danced on Mia, and all the time, whenever it took, I probably still have some residue of that trauma, but a lot of it is cleared, and all the time when I thought. This voice in my head says, there's a lot of trauma. That means a problem. I think I have a lot of fear of having trauma in the body because my sister, 19-year-old sister, she had a brain tumor and she passed away. And it was the brain tumor that made me want to heal, and it comes from a place of fear.
Of what?
Fear.
Uh-huh.
Fear. I tell myself, heal or else. I was like, yeah, it's my choice now. Do I want to get a physical disease? I don't want to clear all this stuff that I have in me. So that's what's there for me. So for me, whenever something difficult happens, I have this kind of sense of urgency, even though I understand it will take time, but I'm like, do this.
Wow.
And it feels I feel so fortunate that I have Nia. Nia it's a fun way for me to heal. And I feel so, and not only fun, but just so, but I believe in it. Like I said last week, I have faith in it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
The first thing you said, I'll be okay. I have Nia. Let's take a moment with that, everybody. I don't know about you, but I can totally relate to that. Which is why sometimes I'm a little possessive about Nia. So let's just be with that. I'll be okay. I have Nia. That was a fun sound.
It's motorbike being past my front door.
I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody. We're going to have more time to share. It is time to get moving. First, we're going to get moving with some slides. So, I'm going to move down here a little bit. Da, 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 da. Here we are. We're all here because we've become a bit resilient. The roots of resilience are to be found. Now, I can't see this whole thing. Let me see if I can move it over. Anybody want to read it to me? It's found in the sense of being understood by and existing in the mind and heart of a loving, attuned, and self-possessed other. Diana Fosha. So for me, the first person I met that did this for me was my first therapist when I was suicidal. And those of you know when I was 20, why, and from TF1, you heard that. And I really needed that safe space and connection to become resilient and heal. And I bet so many of us have needed that as well. I've had NIA trainers that have helped me by being loving and attuned and self-possessed. Self-possessed. Reclaiming I am. For me, NIA is the route to becoming resilient, as is my therapist and some friends. Recovery. Sensory study of resilience. Listen. Adjust and recover, right? The capacity of a strained body to recover after being deformed by compressive stress. We can easily adjust to change. Our ability to bounce back and recover, right? So, well, what does that mean for let's go into that a little bit more deeply. How do we build resistance in the body? We reprogram our muscles and our nervous system. NIA does that in so many ways, right? NIA helps us manage our nervous system, which I'll get into in the next slide, that blocked or flooded nervous system. Helps us manage arousal, that window of tolerance that Leonie chose. I choose to expand my window of tolerance. We learn to accurately assess safety and danger and respond appropriately rather than what's happening now is like just like it was in the past, right? This oscillation, and then this here we come into building resistance. And we'll get into it literally in a sensory level, how NIA builds resistance. We respond rather than react. We learn to cope with stressors and have more options and choices, which is what I've heard from every single one of you. We become more flexible of mind. So in the nervous system, when we get triggered or when we're in the face of trauma, it's either hyperarousal or hypoarousal. Right? The extremes. Right? A blocked nervous system, starved of life. Right? No energy flow. Energy constricted. That's hypoarousal, right? If you know anybody who's got hypothyroid, right? They're really fatigued, kind of logy, tough to have a lot of energy, right? Hypo, low arousal, blocked nervous system. How did I know that was part of my, and you can have both, by the way. You don't have to just have one or the other. I have been a energy being of both for sure, but blocked, in my case, a big part of it for me was digestion and breath. Big, 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 big. Flooded nervous system, too much at once, cannot organize your experience, your emotions, your thoughts, right? How can we recover our sense of aliveness and our free flow of energy? Tight and loose. So here we go. What I'd like us to do, we're going to have a NIA floor play experience. Now, what do I mean by that? We're going to be up and down from the floor. Your floor could be your chair, but I really want you to play with going up and down from the floor. That really reprograms our muscle tissue. A lot of us avoid this. It's so important. And again, your floor could be a chair or a bed, a ball. The focus is going to be free dancing the sensations of tight and loose. And the intent is to free our nervous systems of blocked, flooded energy. Let's step in. All right. Beautiful. Here comes our song. I'll begin with you, and then I'm going to kind of get out of the way. I really want you to free dance. Yes. Let's just get in a little. You can start small. Get a little loose. Take loose with you on the road to the earth, back up to the sky. Something's loosening. 100% attention on loosening up. Ah. Loose. You can loosen up the vocal cords. Loosen up any self-consciousness. Make sure you take it down one more time. Take that loose with you. Could be shimmy, could be jazzy. Loose. Loosen up that spirit, that grip. Yeah, let's see, you're loose. Cool and loose. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. Loosen up those muscles. Take it to the earth. Yeah. Uh-huh. Back to the sky when you're ready. Uh-oh. Tight. A little squeeze to the earth. It's tight. Something's tight. Find your tight. Yes. Uh-huh. Ooh. Yes. You're tight. And then get ready. Begin to free dance. You're tight and loose. Pick up tight whenever you want. Pick up loose whenever you want. Wherever you want in that body. Tight and loose, your choice. Ha! Through those joints, muscles, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Choose an emotion. Get really tight with it. Exaggerate it. Happy. Loosen it up. You got it. You got it. You're tight and loose. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Make sure you connect with Earth. Get that support, that magnitude. All you want to be. You're tight, you're loose. All you want to be. You can even squeeze your face and then loosen it up. Ah. Which part of your body do you want to tighten and loosen? Tight and loose. And we can all breathe together. Nice. A wonderful reminder just how we have so many opportunities. Every NIA class has tight and loose. Every single one. Every routine, every single one. And you can consciously choose. And we're going to do this with a routine in a little bit, but you can consciously choose. I want to get a little tighter today. I want to get a little looser here. As you're practicing, if you feel like your nervous system is a little stuck or blocked or overwhelmed, you can make choices when you teach, when you take a class. What was the name of the song? Cool to Make a Million from the routine You. Yeah, and the first one was Beautiful Domination. Yeah, Beautiful Domination from the routine You. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. So, I just want to check in. How was that experience for you before we move on into the next few slides and some more movement? I don't know if Felicia or Peggy want to share now. If that would feel good. You don't have to talk about this. You can talk about what you wanted to talk about before.
That felt great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I loved it. And but I'd like to just go back to what we were talking about before. It's so wonderful to hear everyone's experience and just relate to it so vividly. And I just found myself just wanting to do this the entire time. It's quite powerful. You know, unlike you, Elaine, I'm losing my ass over COVID, which is kind of a bit like, what happened? Where did she go?
Okay, yeah.
And I love learning to embrace my now body. And when I did the white belt retake with Debbie last year, it was last year,
The
right?
summer, yeah.
In the summer, she talked about this, and she talked about how it's actually a really beautiful sign of healthy flowing connective tissue. You know, how we all want to be tight, but actually this is a real reflection of the connective tissue having that flow, which I really loved. And you guys were talking about strong, powerful men, and it just made me laugh, as my reaction to them was always a turn on. And what that brought up for me in terms of trauma and how that has changed in my life. And there's something for me in the word tolerance I prefer the word allowance. Tolerance for me feels like a judgment at times, like I have to tolerate this, as opposed to what gifted me through Nia was this sensation of being me, whatever that was, pain me, angry me, hurt me, funny me, didn't matter, and allowing it to resonate through my body. And then it just kind of like puffs of clouds pass, as opposed to pre-Nia, where I would judge me or reject me or hold on to those feelings. So the power for me, there's so many, everything that everyone said, yes, yes, yes. And for me, it really is this sensation of allowance. And how things kind of just pass through. It's all good, which is cliche. However it is, it's what it is. We are we. And I used to say to people, Nia gifted me with Mia. There's Mia from Nia.
Wow,
and
cool.
And that's that, this is Mia from Nia. and she's always different. And that's okay.
Yeah.
So there's my, there's my
Thank
share.
you.
This tight and loose. I remember doing the first brown belt. This was the first belt after Carlos left. So it was brand new, and it was Debbie and Ann Christensen. And we were talking about tight but loose. And then it was like, wait a minute, what about loose but tight? And it was this whole beautiful energy shift of the male energy to the female energy, which was for me, like, that's Nia. It's always flowing.
Yes.
Change is constant.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Thank you, love. Adapt and change. Mia. Now, I'm sure Mia Stein, who's on, is like, check it out. She got a new meaning for her name. Thank you very much, Felicia. Thank you. And go with the word that speaks to you. Of course, allowance. So for you, so much of the healing is allowing yourself, you to be you, me to be me. Oh my gosh, I just thought of, what's that woman's name? But anyway, you know what I'm saying, right? Free to be you and me. So allowance has been big for you in your healing process. The word tolerate comes from really that tolerating discomfort. And many people do not heal because they don't learn to tolerate, be able to be with it and keep growing and learning. And so that's where that word comes from. It very much is psychological. Yeah. But go with the words that speak to your healing. You bet. Language, so important. Peggy, did you want to share before we move on? I don't know if you're out there yet here. Or did you have to go? All right, well, we'll come back. We'll come back to you. So I'm just going to share a couple screens, and then we will dance. Yes. So there we go. So a little bit about my healing story. I can't tell you exactly when I felt more resilient. I just know that over time, the practice and teaching of Nia, I really needed to teach to keep me in the creative process, to keep me in the flow, to keep practicing. I needed that accountability and that creativity. Somehow over time, I kept feeling okay, like Sarah D. Well, I have Nia. Right? There's that oscillation and that resilience. I have something I can come back to that is going to help me be me over and over and over again. And so I became less likely to cut myself off from others, less reactive. I could tolerate discomfort in myself. I'm still working on that, of course. And others more, and became able to make healthy changes and choices when I felt overwhelmed or shut down. Hence that example with my dad, right? Nia became a path to discover even more of what I loved in life, because I started to like myself. So I was able to then sense and know what else I loved about life. I open to more of life. I really don't get flooded or disabled by my past and my triggers. I do sometimes get stuck and I still freeze every now and then, depending on what's going on. But I get back quicker. And this speaks to what somebody else says, and there is a typo in there. Nia has brought me to a home within myself, a silence and a quiet I can always come back to. Nia knows who I really am, not who I was. Otherwise known as Mia, right? Okay. We're never going to forget these little, you've all given us these little things that we're going to be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is just for the people who like, you know, have the manual. This is like, so you can kind of see, I keep trying to build specific things for you. So we're going to dance a little bit of the Nia routine 1. And the focus is going to be on playing with the sensations of squeeze and release and moving our 1320 to sense our pliable, elastic bodies. The intent to free up energy, free flow energy through your entire body. I just want to share this little pic with you because I just love it. Resilience, bounce back and recover, right? Just wanted to share that. All right, let's step in.
Elaine.
Oh, yes.
Elaine.
Yes,
So
yes.
just before you have a question, Nan is confused about loose and tight in this context. And does loose clear hyperarousal or hypoarousal?
So that's best checked in your own body. It's a great question because I don't want to answer it for you. Some people, when they're hyperaroused, want to squeeze. Some people want to release. Some people, when they're hypoaroused, hypostimulated, need to squeeze so they can sit up. And some just need to release. It really depends. But they're both healthy juice and balance for our muscle tissue, our connective tissue, and our nervous systems. Does that help, Nan? She's got 2 thumbs up. Okay, good. Good. We have other experts in the room here, by the way, so you can always chime in at the end. So, all right. So let's, hi Sky, I didn't know you were here. Oh, good. And there's Megan too. All right. So let's get up. Come on, let's dance a little. Building resilience in this human body, right? Take your body awareness walk. Is anything feeling tight? Anything too loose? Check it out. Take that body awareness walk in your space. We're going to have about a 22-minute experience, and then we'll come back together. So take that body awareness. What's feeling a little tight, a little dense, a little stiff? What might be feeling a little loose? You know, some of us are hyperflexible. Not so good for stability in the joints in the body. So just notice, right? Good. Good. And then let's give it voice. I notice, right? Give your body voice. Let it be heard. I notice my shoulders are a little tight, particularly between the top of my shoulder blades. I notice my lower back feels a little loose. Notice for you. Hear the voice of your body. When you're ready, connect with your breath and bring your awareness to measuring the internal volume and space of your breath. Full and voluminous, shallow, 1 to 10. And I'm going to say, I notice I'm about a 6.5 at this point. 6.5. Thank you, body, for letting me know. Wonderful. And then let's just come together for a moment, feet underneath us, heart and hara. Our focus as we dance together. Playing with the sensations of squeeze and release. And moving our 1320. 13 joints, 20 digits. the intent to enhance the free flow of energy through our entire bodies. Let's step in. There it is. Okay. Maybe a little float, maybe a little loose. Step into your closed stance. Tight wrists forward. Fly forward, fly back. Loosening up the chest and the back. Tight wrists. Nice and loose. Swing. Arms, knees are soft. Warming up. Open stance. Tail and wrists. You decide how tight, how much flex, extend, melting and squeezing. Nice. A little wider. Maybe loosen your voice, let it release. Maybe a little squeeze in your breath, a little hold. The swing, the wrap. Maybe a little touch, tap. Your widest still. Where do you feel the squeeze? Where do you want to release? Oh, my lower back just gave way. Wonderful. Swinging, touching. Yes. Free dancing your squeeze and release. Body, squeeze, release. Emotions, squeeze and release. Thoughts, squeeze and release. Your open stance under your heart. Maybe you notice something's a little looser, a little tighter. Your body's becoming resilient. It knows exactly what you need right now. Yeah, it just does it. Release your breath to the world. A little palm direction play. Boom, ba. Yeah. What do you feel like you're releasing? I'm a little tightening my breath a little as I release my upper extremities. Maybe a little fly up. Play with the squeeze and release. There's a little squeeze from my buttocks and my abdomen. 2 times forward, 12-6. How about 2 o'clock crossed behind? Palms down. Other side. A little squeeze with the wrists, maybe here, right? Releasing chest, squeezing with fingers or wrists. Maybe a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Oh, stay with it. Make it yours. When do you want to release? Where do you want to squeeze? Craft your release. Craft your squeeze. You got it. Get ready. The palms are going to be up from your heart. Yeah, up and out. Back to you. Other side. 12-6. Release and squeeze. Where do you sense it? How do you want to shape it? Palms up. Do you want to let go a little more? A little looser? Or a little tighter? Let your body choose. Yeah, make a little change. Test it out. What wants to squeeze? What wants to let go? Yeah. Resilience. It's you. You are. We are. Slip into it. Dance into your resilience. Ready? Step in. Yes. 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 Last time. Easy loosening. Yeah. Slinky body. Resilient body. Yeah. Encourage the flow with a gentle vibration. Encourage the flow through that whole body, your whole body. Get ready for a lateral travel, a little toe tap. Stay a little loose. Drifting, chest and head, arms hang, the jaw hangs. Yeah, you can sigh or say ah. Feel free to tap or free a thigh. Begin to add a little more loose core and arms. Head a little dreamy. Oh, the neck releases. If it feels good, a little knee sweep. Coiling, uncoiling. Where do you feel a squeeze? Add a little squeeze somewhere in the body. Yeah. Maybe it's a fist. Maybe biceps. Maybe your thigh. Yeah. Being resilient. Now make a choice. Make a choice. Where do you want to loosen up? Wow. Wow. A choice for letting go. Release. Where? You can release high and low. A little faith. Like Sarah D said, beautiful. Now, how about make a choice for the hug, the squeeze, the hug in. Cha! Maybe in your abdomen, your abdominals, maybe your buttocks. Cha! Sha! Ooh. Ooh. A little new awareness for me there. Blending. Squeeze and release. Yeah, heels, hands. You can really shoot it out. That's a little prelude to next week, a little discharge. Good. All right, how about those ankle joints? Open and close. Squeeze, release. Open and close your wrists. Little squeeze, release. Yeah. Just find your balance and release. We'll come back to a nice little fast clock pattern. Yeah, let it go. Ha, ha. This leg, we go front, side, ball back. Bring it back around. It's tight. It's loose. A little squeezes for the arms, the feet, the legs. Give me that loose. Yeah, give yourself the loose. Your release. Your release. Yeah, you're the artist. Your release. Let's take it around. Reach, 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 release. Ha, ha, ha. Whoopsies. Around. Yes. Ha, ha. Listen. Uh-oh. Yeah. Give me that pulse. Yeah. Ha, how loose. How much of a release? Your way, your way, your way. Find your way. You got this. Loose and tight. You got this. Let's come back together as one. Right leg. Palms are up this time. Palms are up. Up and out. Stay with it. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Feel that squeeze and that flexibility. Reach. Toss it up. Let it go. How far away from your hara do you want to reach? Your release could be like this. A little wiggle. Sustain it. Yes. It's your release. Your hug. You ready? Your bounciness. Dance that resilient body. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. You got it. Dance that resilient body. Ba-da-da. You got it. Ba-da-da. Yeah. And oh, just notice. I sometimes love to do the body awareness, right? Different points of the class. Nikki was saying sometimes she does this. Right in the middle now. Yeah. touch to the floor, or a chair, or ball, or bed. Playing with, squeezing, and releasing. Squeezing, flexibility or strength, and mobility, right? Squeeze one limb, one leg, or more. Release. Your squeeze, your release. Spend more time with whatever you need to spend more time with today, now. Squeeze. Release. A few more opportunities. Hold on and let go. Hold on and let go. At your will, your choice. Hold on. Let go. Coming up with your hold on, your let go. Yeah. You are the master and the creator of your life. Hold on and let go. You choose. And we take our body gratitude stroll or walk. Again, giving voice to the gratitude you have for your body. Thank you, dear body. I notice, I sense, I feel. Listen, say it so you can hear it. Thank you, dear body. I feel a more mobile neck, more loose muscle tissue between my shoulder blades, and a more fluid and upright posture. And noticing the breath. Thank you, dear body. I was a 6.5, and now an 8. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And let's step out, recovering together in community, building resilience. And stepping out. Thank you, thank you. Let's come together. We have time to share. How was that for you? What have you noticed? Thoughts, sensations, feelings? And we still need to hear from Peggy if she's available and wishes to share. Being with resilience. What have you noticed? Being in relationship with resilience. Does anybody have their hand up? I apologize. Bye, Noelle. Anybody notice if they were releasing more, squeezing more, honoring your body's needs today?
Hey, I have my hand up. It's Betsy.
Hi, Betsy. Please speak. I'm trying to
Okay.
find you. I'm trying to find you. There you are. Okay, love.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
I just had an interesting experience with the squeeze release, and I think it's a little bit habitual when teaching or doing Nia to squeeze, release. But what was revealed to me was this idea of like even laying on the floor, when I thought I was releasing, I was still squeezing. So it felt just a deeper layer of the squeeze release. And I want to play with it more because I'm not really sure when we get full release, because the muscles are always squeezing the bone to support it. Even if we are here and we release, there's still squeeze happening to hold our form. And so it was, even though this might be sense release to me, the more deep within I went, the more I realized I was still squeezing, even though my brain was saying, oh, I'm releasing. And then I'm wondering if this is the true full release coming down to the earth. And then even more micro within that, there's still squeezing happening, squeezing within my perineum, squeezing within. So it was just really interesting, and I'm excited to play with that more.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Such great awareness, Betsy. I feel like what's full squeeze, what's full release? And you're exactly right. There isn't. It can't happen. The breath can't even do that. So, you know what I mean? So it's really important to notice that that does support our structure. Just like, frankly, going to the bathroom. We have to have squeeze and release. So but if we give our crafted attention to it, the point is allowing for the squeeze where we need hugs and the release where we need the release in our bodies. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Building the resistance, body, mind, emotion, spirit. I see Elizabeth's hand up. Great. Why don't you go, Elizabeth? And then I think another person too.
So I normally am in squeeze. I hold a lot of tension in my neck, in my body. I have lots of trauma that I never work through. But I'm usually in North Carolina. Now I'm in Lake Geneva at the lake. It's a bad day, but it's beautiful being at the lake. And I found even when you were saying like squeeze, I was like, nah, I don't want to squeeze. I'm squeezed so much. I am so tight. I can never let go. So I did a lot more release. And then I thought, well, let me see if I can control that squeeze and release instead of it always being, it's not my choice to squeeze. Even when I go to get massages, they go, oh my God, you are so tight. Like even like when I think I'm relaxed. So I tried to work with you. I'm like, okay, let's a control squeeze. Kind of like we just said before, is like, how much is just enough, but not too much, where I can control that squeeze and release so I can learn to release better. So I found that was really interesting for me, is like, I just didn't want to go into squeeze. And if I did, I wanted it to be more like oh, I'm relaxed squeeze, for lack of other word. So that was a struggle, but it was really good for me to kind of practice and to notice that some of my stresses, my job, everything's in Durham. So it was interesting to notice that when I left Durham and drove literally a 3-day drive, all of a sudden there was no squeeze, there was no tension. I'm pretty much in this release, relax mode, which I haven't been in. I've been home, stuck in my house for a year with COVID. I'm very high risk, and I'm finally vaccinated and out. So this is like my first big, like, wow, I'm out. I'm among, like, my folks are here. I haven't seen my parents in a year and a half.
Wow.
And so it was just a big noticing of that squeeze and release was so different for me today that I could get squeeze easy because that's where I am. I live in tight. And this time I was like, no, I can't. I just have to stay in release and swing and be happy. And so it was huge.
Oh.
It was huge.
First of all, thank you. I'm honored you showed up. I mean, because this is such a big outing for you. Oh my gosh. So thank you, Elizabeth. And for your share, the permission and allowance you gave yourself. This is the perfect example of resilience. Well, Elaine just said squeeze, but I'm going to let go even more.
And I actually said it verbally.
Rock on.
I said, no, Elaine, I'm not going to squeeze. Like, it
Good.
just came out where I was like, no.
Good.
And the other thing I know, this is my floor back home is very comfortable, but I'm in a timeshare where the floor is probably cement to thin. And it was so uncomfortable. And I love floor play. But even that, normally I would force myself to listen to you because you're the teacher. And I was like, no, that's not working for me either. I'm going to get up and do it on the couch and stretch. So that was really big because I'm not really good at not just doing what I should in dance. Dance is still new to me.
You're the authority, love. You're the authority. Yes, yes,
well,
yes.
Thank you. And thank
you.
Everybody here for what you guys give to me every week. I missed it last week because I was driving and I was so sad. I was so excited to be with you all today. So thank you all for your time and your shares and just the love that this group brings is so empowering for me and so amazing to be with all of you amazing women.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth, and for all your shares. Thank you. Thank you. I think do we have another hand raised? One more? Am I missing something? And where's Peggy? I'm going to try not to overcompensate and, Did anybody else have their hands up? Peggy, did you want to share? Where'd she go?
I think she maybe left because there's a message from
Okay. Okay.
Peggy.
Oh, all right. Great. Well, I'm going to put it on gallery view if that's okay now. I'd really like to see folks. Where's Mia? I think I just saw her a moment ago. Hey! I just wanted to say hi because I love it when I go by. And there's Nina. I haven't seen Nina yet. And Sky and Sally. Excellent. I'm going to go to the next page and just look. Hello, beautiful people. Who haven't I seen yet? I just want to see you all. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, great. Well, I hope you all just received something of what you needed today, whether you became aware of it through in your own bodies, through listening to people's shares, you know, whatever you needed, I hope you received. And I hope you can really sense just how much joy. Yes, Alexandra and Zoe, I'm having joy now sharing with all of you and being with all of you. And I am so grateful, so grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And my amazing white belt pod is here. So thank you so much, everybody. How about we clear the space? Yeah? So I've been doing a lot of this today, like raising my hands in victory. So I say we go from here out, however you want to do your hands. So let's do that 3 times, whether you're sitting or standing. Inhale. Wow, that felt really good. Let's do it again. One more time. Little confetti and glitter. Thank you, all you beautiful human beings. Yes, we'll see you next week, week 5. Self-regulation. More recovery. Thank you, everybody. Blessed day, evening, afternoon for you.